Hey guys, 3D Hero here. In today's video, I'd like to talk to you about a recent discovery from data miners who have been looking through TitanFall 2 files and have found some updates that indicate what future content we'll be getting. Now, these future content has been varying in type of content and size. Some of the content basically shows all the maps that we're going to be getting, and the majority of these maps show Titanfall 1 maps. There's no indication of new Titanfall 2 maps, but this might be because either they haven't added them in yet, or they're going to add them in but at a later date. They also added in some kind of new character props and some new dialogue and some just some general customization that could potentially be in the game later on, or just there because they were not implemented in development. But one thing that caught my eye the most within the file was a Titan called the Monarch. And what really got to me about this Monarch is that not only will we be seeing a certain Titan make a return, but it also introduces another class called, I believe, the Assassin or the Hunter class. But before I go into the Hunter class, let me talk about the Monarch. Now, from what I could understand, the Monarch Titan is basically BT. And there are some videos online, preferably if you do look around, that there are some videos that show the Monarch class or Monarch Titan being introduced into the game multiplayer for, I'm going to believe, the new Frontier Defense. There's not really a date of when it's coming, but it's going to be introduced in the Frontier Defense, and it's going to be our own personalized BT. So this Titan here is going to have 3 stages apparently, and each stages is going to upgrade. So it's going to start off in its weakest form, and then it's going to upgrade to a powerful form, and then an even more powerful form. So only 3 stages at best. But when I saw this, I was thinking to myself that they're actually going ahead with this. They're actually going to add in a BT type, or basically a Vanguard Titan within Titanfall 2 multiplayer. And although this seems amazing that they're going to be adding this in, like we're going to have our own BT, and we're going to be maybe seeing a return of the XO16, it's also got me wondering, if they're going to be adding this in to Bounty Hunter, does this mean that we're going to be seeing this in the multiplayer as well? Now, many players have been wondering and pondering whether there's a chance that they're going to release this Monarch Titan into multiplayer. Because although it will be great to have our own BT type Titan in game, the only main problem we have is the balance. Like I said, this Titan is only going to be based for that one specific game mode, Frontier Defense. And the problem with this is the fact that this Titan, this Vanguard Titan, is going to have 3 stages, where each stage it gets powerful. So they can't really introduce that into the multiplayer because it'll be too powerful. And then when you have to think about the perks it's going to be having, like I believe one of the perks it has is the fire. It's a shoulder cannon or a shoulder rocket cannon that I believe in the first or second mission, where you're recovering BT, that you can fire and lock onto pilots and other AI. Now, if you imagine that being added into the multiplayer, you will see how broken that would be. They can limit it down to maybe 1 or 2 shots, or at best make it so that it focuses only on AI or Titans, or limit down the shots, or limit the fire. You know, it's infinite. But the fact is, if they add that into the multiplayer, it's going to be one hell of a broken Titan. And although I would love to see it, it's going to be way too powerful. Also, you have to consider as well the XO16. Now, I didn't play Titanfall 1, but through watching a lot of gameplay, I have seen how accurate and deadly the XO16 is. Now, if you have a really good aim, and I'm aiming this mainly at the PC players, if you have a really good aim using the XO16 on PC, that weapon will destroy pilots left, right and centre. Think of it kind of I say near to less accurate version of Legion Smart Core, except for the fact that it's not locking onto them. It's just that you're going to have more stricter and deadlier. Now imagine that into the multiplayer with the 3 stages of evolution for that Vanguard Titan. It becomes quite broken. So if they are going to add this type of Titan into the multiplayer, they need to really balance it out. They need to balance it out on paper, in design, in development, through everything. And it has to make sure it has a weakness as well. All the Titans in the game have a weakness to something. Ronin is weak against Tone. Legion is weak against Ion. Scorch is weak against Northstar. You know, and this kind of goes in circles. They're all weak to each other, to one way or another. If you just add this Vanguard Titan in the middle with no weaknesses, it's gonna be Tone 2.0 all over again. I don't think many of you want to go back to that situation. So that's kind of one thing I kind of want to get off my mind, because seeing this is kind of amazing. You know, for the fact that we're going to be getting a Vanguard Titan in Frontier Defense, and I've never really played Frontier Defense. I've just seen a lot of gameplay about it. I've heard a lot of people give a lot of praise about it, and I was thinking it would be great to play it. But I was just kind of looking into the negative sides of it, and I know I shouldn't really look into the negatives, but just thinking about the fact that if they add this into the PvE side of the game, how will it react if it was implemented into the multiplayer side? And actually, who knows? They may not actually add it into the multiplayer side. A lot of people are saying that this is only for the PvE side of the game. And although I would love to see this Vanguard Titan introduced into the multiplayer side with, you know, unique and special customizations with its own weapon, because at the moment we know there are certain weapons in the game that could be filled out by other Titans' role, it would be a real shame that we see it get limited down to one specific mode. But anyways, one other thing that I'd like to cover as well is a new class also being introduced. That was actually found in the files. Now, I don't know a lot about this, and not a lot of people actually know about this, but I believe this is called a Titan Hunter class. Now, I thought at first it was Assassin, but that's one of the main perks abilities it has. But this Titan Hunter class is basically, I'm believing, a pilot class that allows you to do damage against Titans using a sword. Yes, a sword. And like I said just previously, I believe through 2 or 3 days ago, there was a video uploaded by a player who showed the sword. I believe he showed the sword class, or how it would act in game. And it showed how it would lunge, how it would do a ton of damage, and how much damage it does to a Titan. And the amount of damage it does to a Titan is quite a lot. Now, I'm not sure if that's the in-game file numbers, or that's the numbers that haven't been adjusted yet. But the fact that they're bringing that into the game is also quite surprising as well. And the fact is, I always have to wonder, would they also add this into the multiplayer? Because it would be great to add in a new class ability. Specifically, a class ability that focuses around, you know, Titans only. You do a ton of damage, you know, you have your own little sword, so you're kind of like a mini Genji main. And if they do introduce this in the multiplayer, I can believe you now, the amount of Genji mains, or whatever this class ability is going to be called, is going to be quite amazing. But that's an if they add it in, because from what I saw gameplay wise from the person, one, this wasn't 100% what the weapon model was. He was just using the Jack Cooper. He was just using the Cooper model with I believe a sword, a Boro or Boko knife prop, and he was just using the numbers and files from within game and trying to implement that into the counter model. So it kind of rigs and works along each other, and it didn't really work out 100%. It just worked within certain parameters at best. But if they were going to add this into the game, think of it kind of, like I said, a mini Genji, or at best, kind of think of it as a mini Ronin. But whether this is going to be successful or not, I don't know. And I'm kind of waiting until they show more information about this Titan Hunter class, because it sounds amazing. And it's probably going to look amazing. And this Monarch class, the Vanguard class, this also sounds extremely amazing. And these are content I'm going to be so happy to look at and cover when they eventually get released. But the main question I'm thinking to myself is, if they release it for one game mode, will they also release it for the multiplayer side? Because I really do hope so. Anyways, that is the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more. as I'll be doing more of these in the nearby future, and I always like to bring you new content that you can always have a chat about, or give me your feedback and thoughts on it. If you didn't like it, then leave a dislike. I'll understand, I know what to improve on, and I'll make sure I won't do that type of content again, in case that it might bore you in a sense. So that's it. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and more. So thank you all for watching. I do hope to see you again soon.